I should have known something was wrong the moment they seated the men in black suits at table 7. The restaurant was nearly empty just past the dinner rush on a Tuesday night, and I was counting down the minutes until my shift ended. My feet ached, my hair had escaped its ponytail hours ago, and all I wanted was to go home, peel off these clothes that reeked of fryer grease, and collapse into bed. But then they walked in. 6 men, moving like shadows given form. They didn't walk, they prowled, their eyes scanning the room with the kind of awareness that made my survival instincts prickle. The maitre practically tripped over himself, seating them in the private alcove at the back, the one we reserved for celebrities who didn't want to be photographed. These men weren't celebrities. I'd lived in this city long enough to recognize danger when it walked through the door. Arya, my manager, Donald, grabbed my elbow with fingers that trembled slightly. His face had gone pale. Table 7, you're taking it. What? No. Maria always takes the private section. Maria, called in sick. His grip tightened, and everyone else suddenly has other tables. You're up. I looked at him, really looked, and saw fear swimming in his eyes. Whatever instinct told me to stay away from those men was screaming at Donald 10 times louder. Who are they? I whispered. Nobody. Just be polite. Don't ask questions. Get them whatever they want. He released me and stepped back, as if putting distance between us would protect him from whatever I was about to walk into. My heart hammered as I approached table 7. Up close, they were even more intimidating. 5 of them sat with military precision around the circular booth, leaving the head position conspicuously empty. They wore expensive suits that couldn't quite hide the bulk of weapons beneath their jackets. One had a scar running from his temple to his jaw. Another had knuckles covered in faded tattoos that disappeared under his cuffs. But it was the man at the center who made my breath catch. He sat with the absolute stillness of a predator, his hands folded on the table in front of him. Dark hair swept back from a face that could have been carved from marble, all sharp angles and brutal beauty. His eyes were the color of smoke, gray and penetrating, and when they lifted to meet mine, I felt pinned in place. Good evening, I managed, my voice steadier than I felt. Can I start you with drinks? The scarred man leaned forward, speaking in rapid Italian that I couldn't follow. The others nodded, their attention shifting between me and the empty seat. The man at the center, their leader, clearly didn't look away from me. He spoke, his voice low and rough, like gravel wrapped in silk. Also in Italian. I stood there, pen poised over my notepad, feeling increasingly foolish. I'm sorry, I said carefully. I don't speak Italian. English? Or Spanish? Something flickered across his face. Surprise, maybe, or annoyance. He exchanged rapid words with his men, and I caught the tension rippling through them. The scarred man checked his phone, cursed under his breath. Where is Marco? One of them hissed. Not answering, another replied. Probably drunk in some girl's bed. The leader's jaw tightened. He looked at me again, and this time I saw frustration warring with something else in those smoke-gray eyes. He spoke slowly, deliberately, but still in Italian. I shook my head. I really don't. The door to the restaurant opened. Every man at the table tensed, hands moving toward their jackets. I froze, suddenly aware that I was standing in the middle of something very dangerous. 3 more men entered. These ones didn't wear suits, they wore the kind of casual designer clothes that cost more than my monthly rent. Gold chains glinted at their necks. The man leading them had a smile that made my skin crawl. They approached our alcove with the confidence of people who owned the world. The leader at table 7 stood slowly. Even that simple movement radiated lethal grace. He was taller than I'd realized, well over 6 feet, and his presence seemed to fill the entire space. He extended his hand to the newcomer. They spoke in Spanish. Rapid, clipped Spanish that sounded like a negotiation or a threat. I caught words here and there. Milones, envío, garantía, millions, shipment, guarantee. The newcomers sat at an adjacent table that my manager scrambled to arrange. Now I had 2 sets of dangerous men, speaking 2 different languages, clearly trying to conduct some kind of business, and neither side could understand the other. I watched as the Italian leader, because that's what he had to be, a mafia boss, nothing else made sense, tried to communicate with the Spanish-speaking cartel members. His frustration grew more visible with each passing second. One of his men attempted to use a translation app on his phone, but the cartel leader waved it away dismissively. "This is insulting," the cartel leader said in Spanish, his smile gone. "You bring no translator? You waste my time?" The mafia boss responded in Italian, his tone sharp, dangerous. Neither understood the other. The atmosphere in the alcove grew thick with tension. Hands drifted toward concealed weapons. My pulse thundered in my ears. They were going to kill each other. Right here, in this restaurant, with me standing between them like an idiot with a notepad. I don't know what possessed me. Maybe it was the exhaustion, or the surreal nature of the situation, or the fact that I'd spent 2 years working my way through community college, taking business courses while waiting tables, and one of those courses had been conducted entirely in Spanish by a professor from Guadalajara. "Excuse me," I heard myself say. Every eye in the alcove turned to me. "I speak Spanish," I continued, my voice somehow steady despite my shaking hands, and enough business Italian too. "Maybe help?" The lie came easily. I didn't speak Italian, but I'd been listening carefully, picking up context, watching their body language, and I'd spent my childhood translating for my Spanish-speaking grandmother and my English-speaking father, finding ways to bridge gaps in communication. The Mafia Boss stared at me. His eyes were absolutely unreadable, but something in his expression shifted, calculation replacing frustration. "You translate?" he asked in heavily accented English. I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. He gestured to the chair beside him. "Sit." It wasn't a request. My legs carried me forward before my brain could protest. I slid into the booth next to him, acutely aware of the heat radiating from his body, the subtle scent of expensive cologne and something darker, more primal. "Your name?" he asked quietly, his English rough but understandable. "Arya. Arya." He repeated it, like he was tasting the syllables. Then he leaned close, his breath warm against my ear. "You make mistake here. You die. You understand?" I understood perfectly, but instead of running, which would have been the smart thing, I turned to the cartel leader and smiled. "Gentlemen," I said in Spanish, "I apologize for the confusion. Let's start over. What exactly are you hoping to accomplish tonight?" The cartel leader's eyebrows rose. He studied me with new interest. "You work for Dante Salvatore?" I glanced at the man beside me. Dante Salvatore, apparently, who was watching me with an intensity that made my skin prickle. "I'm facilitating communication," I said carefully. "Nothing more. Smart girl." The cartel leader leaned back. "Tell Salvatore that my family controls the southern ports. He wants access. He pays premium rates. 20 million for the first shipment, guaranteed safe passage." I turned to Dante because thinking of him as the Mafia Boss was somehow more terrifying, and translated into English, keeping my voice low and professional. His eyes never left mine as I spoke. When I finished, he responded in Italian. I didn't understand the words, but I understood the tone. Refusal. Counterproposal. He says 15 million is generous, given current market conditions, I said, improvising based on his tone and body language. And he wants confirmation of your connections with the harbor authority. It was a guess. A calculated risk based on the fragments of conversation I'd overheard and the basic principles of international business negotiation. The cartel leader's eyes narrowed. Then he laughed, a sound like breaking glass. 15 million, and he provides insurance for any law enforcement interference on his end, he countered. I translated back to Dante, watching his face. His expression revealed nothing, but his fingers drummed once against the table, a tell, however slight. He agrees, I said. On the condition that your first shipment is a test run, smaller scale, prove the route is secure. The next hour passed in a blur. I translated back and forth, filling in gaps with educated guesses, using everything I'd learned about business negotiations and human psychology to bridge the language barrier. Dante would speak in Italian, his voice like dark honey, and I would transform his words into Spanish that made sense. The cartel leader would respond, and I would convert his demands into English that Dante could work with. Somewhere along the way, it stopped being just translation. I was negotiating, smoothing over the rough edges, finding compromises, suggesting solutions that satisfied both parties. Arya, Dante said at one point, his hand suddenly on my wrist under the table. His touch was warm, possessive. What did you just promise them? My pulse jumped at the contact. That you'll personally oversee the first shipment. Was I wrong? His thumb brushed the inside of my wrist, feeling my racing heartbeat. No, you are. Surprising. By the time the meeting concluded, they'd hammered out a deal worth $100 million over the next year. The cartel leader stood, extending his hand to Dante with new respect. Your translator, he said in Spanish, is worth 10 of your men. Keep her close, Dante responded in Italian. And though I didn't understand the words, the way his hand tightened on my wrist told me everything I needed to know. He intended to do exactly that. The cartel members left first, melting into the night as silently as they'd arrived. Dante's men remained seated, but their attention was fixed on me, now calculating, dangerous attention. Arya. Dante turned to face me fully. Up close, he was devastating. Sharp cheekbones, a mouth that looked cruel and sensual in equal measure, and those eyes, God, those eyes that seemed to see straight through me. You lied. My throat went dry. What? You don't speak Italian. It wasn't a question. I speak enough. You speak none. His hand moved from my wrist to my chin, tilting my face up to meet his gaze. You guessed. You, how do you say, improvised. Terror and something else, something hot and forbidden flooded through me. I'm sorry. I just thought. You closed a $100 million deal, he interrupted, by reading body language and making educated guesses. His thumb brushed my lower lip, and I stopped breathing. You are either very brilliant or very stupid. Maybe both, I whispered. His mouth curved, not quite a smile, but close. Yes, maybe both. He released me and stood, straightening his suit jacket. You come with us. What? No. I have to finish my shift. Your shift is over. He gestured to one of his men, who immediately produced a stack of $100 bills and laid them on the table. Enough to cover my wages for a month. You work for me now. I can't just... Arya. He leaned down, bringing his face level with mine. This close, I could see flecks of silver in those gray eyes. Could feel the danger radiating off him like heat. You have seen too much, heard too much. You have two choices. Come with me, or... He let the sentence hang, unfinished. I understood the alternative. My hands were shaking as I stood. Donald watched from across the restaurant, his face a mask of resignation. He'd known. He'd sent me into that alcove knowing I might not come back out. Dante's hand settled on the small of my back, guiding me toward the door. His touch was gentle, almost protective, but I felt the steel underneath. This wasn't a request. This wasn't even really a choice. I was walking out of my ordinary life and into his world of violence and shadows. And the most terrifying part? Some reckless, self-destructive part of me wanted to see where this led. The SUV was black, expensive, and bulletproof. I could tell by the weight of the doors when Dante opened one and guided me inside. His hand never left my back, possessive and firm, as if I might bolt at any second. He wasn't wrong. I was seriously considering it. Where are we going? I asked, hating how small my voice sounded. Dante slid in beside me, close enough that his thigh pressed against mine. Two of his men took the front seats. The scarred one drove while the tattooed one kept glancing at me in the rearview mirror with an expression I couldn't read. Somewhere safe, Dante said. His English was getting better, or maybe I was just getting used to his accent. You answer questions first. The vehicle pulled into traffic smoothly, and I watched my neighborhood, my life disappear through the tinted windows. What kind of questions? Everything. He shifted to face me, one arm draped across the back of the seat. His fingers found my hair, tugging gently at a loose strand. The gesture felt intimate, dangerous. Your full name, where you live, family, friends, everyone who matters to you. Ice flooded my veins. Why? Because everyone you know is now a liability. His fingers traced down from my hair to my neck, his touch light but unmistakably possessive. The Valdez Cartel saw you. They know you helped me. If they think you mean something to me. He let the implication hang. But I don't mean anything to you, I said quickly. I'm just a waitress who happened to speak Spanish. You are the woman who closed a $100 million deal, he interrupted, his thumb now resting against my pulse point. You are the woman who outsmarted 2 criminal organizations without even trying. You are. He paused, his eyes roaming over my face like he was memorizing it. Interesting. The word sounded like both a compliment and a death sentence. My name is Arya Chen, I said, figuring cooperation was my best chance at survival. I live alone in a studio apartment in Riverside. No family, my grandmother died 2 years ago, and I haven't spoken to my father since I was 16. No boyfriend, just some friends from work, nobody close. Lies. His hand tightened slightly on my neck, not quite threatening but close. Everyone has someone. I met his eyes, letting him see the truth. Not everyone. Something flickered in his expression recognition. Maybe. As if he understood that kind of loneliness. Good, he said finally, releasing me. It makes this easier. Makes what easier? The SUV turned into an underground parking garage. Concrete pillars rose like teeth in the darkness as we descended level after level. Finally, we stopped in front of a private elevator, the kind that required both a keycard and a fingerprint to access. Dante's men got out first, scanning the area with practiced efficiency. Then Dante opened my door and offered his hand. I stared at it. Taking his hand felt like sealing some kind of bargain I didn't fully understand. Arya. His voice dropped lower, almost gentle. I will not hurt you. But you must trust me now, yes? No running. And if I do run, then my men will catch you. He said it matter-of-factly, without malice. And I cannot promise they will be as patient as I am. I took his hand. His fingers closed. Around mine, warm and strong, and he pulled me from the vehicle with easy strength. My legs wobbled, whether from fear or exhaustion or the adrenaline crash. I didn't know. Dante steadied me, his other hand gripping my waist. For a moment, we stood there in the dim garage, his body a wall of heat and muscle against mine. Steady, he murmured. I have you. That was precisely what I was afraid of. The elevator ride was silent, except for the soft hum of machinery. We rose up, up, up. I counted 30 floors before I lost track. When the doors opened, I stepped into a world I'd only ever seen in magazines. The penthouse was enormous, all floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city lights, marble floors, and furniture that probably cost more than I'd earned in my entire life. Original artwork hung on the walls. A chandelier that looked like frozen starlight dominated the entryway. Holy shit, I whispered. Dante's mouth curved with something like amusement. You like it? It's terrifying, I said honestly. This is how the other half lives? The other 1%. He guided me deeper into the penthouse, past a living room that could have fit my entire apartment 3 times over. You must be hungry. When did you last eat? The question caught me off guard. I tried to remember. Breakfast had been coffee and a stale bagel from the restaurant. This morning, I think? He frowned, actually frowned, like my poor eating habits personally offended him. Then he called out something in Italian. One of his men appeared, not the scarred one or the tattooed one, but a younger guy with sharp eyes and quick movements. Dante spoke rapidly in Italian. The younger man nodded and disappeared toward what I assumed was the kitchen. You will eat, Dante told me. Then we talk business. What business? I already told you everything. No. He stepped closer, crowding me against a wall without actually touching me. Heat radiated off his body. His cologne, something dark and expensive, made my head spin. Now we discuss your employment. I don't want to work for you. What you want, he said softly, is no longer relevant. You involved yourself in my world, Arya. There's no going back. That's insane. I'm just a waitress. You were a waitress. His hand came up, bracing against the wall beside my head. Not trapping me. Not quite, but close enough that I felt caged. Now you are something else. Something more useful. You can't just kidnap people. Kidnap? His eyebrows rose. Did I force you into the car? You threatened me. I offered protection. He leaned in, his breath warm against my temple. There is difference, Tesoro. Small difference, but difference. My brain snagged on the Italian word, even though I didn't understand it. Something about the way he said it, low and intimate, like a caress, made heat pool in my belly. This was wrong. He was a criminal, a killer, probably. I should be terrified, should be looking for escape routes. Instead, I was hyper-aware of his proximity, of the way his body aligned with mine, of the dangerous promise in his eyes. What do you want from me? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. His gaze dropped to my mouth, lingered there. I have not decided yet. The moment stretched, taut as a wire. Then the younger man returned with a tray of food, fresh bread, cheese, olives, sliced meats that looked and smelled expensive. He set it on the coffee table and retreated without a word. Dante stepped back, and I could breathe again. Eat, he commanded, gesturing to the couch. Then we will discuss terms. I didn't want to obey, didn't want to give him the satisfaction of my compliance. But my stomach betrayed me with a loud growl, and I saw his mouth twitch. Stubborn, he observed. but practical. I like this. I sat because standing was making my legs shake, and picked up a piece of bread. The first bite was heaven. The second made me realize just how hungry I actually was. I ate, mechanically, aware of Dante's eyes on me the entire time. He didn't sit. He stood by the windows, hands in his pockets, looking out over the city like a king surveying his kingdom. In the light from the chandeliers, I could see him more clearly. Mid-30s, maybe. Lean muscle under that expensive suit. A face that was beautiful in a harsh, unforgiving way. A face that would haunt my nightmares or my dreams. "You said you have no family?" he said suddenly, not turning around. "No one who will miss you." Is that a question or a statement? An observation? He glanced over his shoulder, pinning me with those smoke-gray eyes. "It is rare. Most people have attachments, weaknesses. And you?" I challenged. "Do you have weaknesses?" Something dangerous flickered across his face. "I did, once." He turned fully to face me. "She died. My enemies made sure of that." The raw pain in his voice stole my breath. This wasn't the cold mafia boss from the restaurant. This was a man who'd lost something irreplaceable. "I'm sorry," I said softly. "Sorry does not bring her back." He moved toward me, each step deliberate, predatory. But it taught me an important lesson, Tesoro. Everyone I care about becomes target. Everyone I protect becomes weapon my enemies use against me. He stopped in front of me, so close I had to tilt my head back to maintain eye contact. "So I stopped caring," he continued. "I stopped having weaknesses. I built walls so high, so thick, that nothing could reach me." His hand came up, cupping my jaw with surprising gentleness. "Until tonight, until a fearless waitress walked into my meeting and saved my deal with nothing but intelligence and courage. I wasn't fearless," I whispered. "I was terrified." "Yes, but you did it anyway." His thumb traced my cheekbone. "That is true bravery, Arya. Not absence of fear, but action despite it. I should pull away. Should remind myself that he was dangerous, that I was in way over my head. Instead, I leaned into his touch, just slightly. His eyes darkened. "Careful, Tesoro. You look at me like that, you give me ideas." "What kind of ideas?" "What kind of ideas?" "Dangerous ones." But he didn't move away. If anything, he leaned closer. "Ideas about keeping you here, making you mine, building new walls with you inside them." My heart hammered against my ribs. "That's crazy." "Yes." His gaze dropped to my mouth again. "Very crazy. But I have spent 10 years being careful, being controlled. Maybe." His voice lowered to something rough, almost vulnerable. "Maybe I am tired of being careful." The air between us crackled with tension. I could feel the heat of his body, smell his cologne, see the way his pupils had dilated. One of his men cleared his throat from the doorway. Dante's eyes closed briefly, and when they opened, the moment had passed. The vulnerability disappeared behind walls of ice and control. He stepped back, and I felt the loss of his warmth like a physical ache. He spoke in rapid Italian to his man, who responded in kind. Whatever they said made Dante's jaw tighten. "Problem?" I asked. "Always." He turned back to me. "All business now. The Valdez cartel is making inquiries. They want to know who you are, where you came from. This complicates things." "Why would they care about me?" "Because they saw what I saw tonight. Tesoro." His expression was grim. "They saw your value. And now they want to know if you can be bought, threatened, or stolen." Fear spiked through me. "What do I do?" "You stay here, under my protection." He moved to a cabinet, pulling out papers and a phone. "You do not leave without my men. You do not contact anyone from your old life. You become..." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "Ghost." "For how long?" "Until the Valdez family loses interest. Or until I eliminate the threat." He said it so casually, like murder was just another business transaction. 1 week, maybe 2. I have a job, an apartment, bills all handled. He gestured, dismissively. Your rent will be paid. Your employer will be told you had family emergency. Your life will wait for you. You can't just... I can. He crossed back to me, gripping my shoulders. Arya, listen to me. The men you helped me negotiate with tonight, they are not civilized. They are not merciful. If they decide you are valuable, they will take you. They will hurt you in ways you cannot imagine, just to make you talk. And when they are done, His fingers tightened. I have seen what they leave behind. I will not allow that to happen to you. The genuine fear in his voice shook me more than any threat could have. Okay, I heard myself say. Okay, 1 week. Some of the tension left his shoulders. Good, smart girl. He released me and headed for the hallway. Come, I show you where you will sleep. I followed him through the penthouse, past doors that probably led to rooms I couldn't even imagine. He stopped at one and pushed it open. The bedroom was bigger than my entire apartment. King-sized bed with silk sheets, attached bathroom with a tub that could fit 3 people, walk-in closet that was currently empty. This is yours, Dante said, for as long as you need it. I stepped inside, running my hand over the impossibly soft duvet. This is insane. Yes, but better insane and alive than normal and dead, no? He leaned against the doorframe, watching me explore. There are clothes in the closet. Your size, I think. If not, tell Marco tomorrow, and he will fix it. How do you know my size? His smile was pure sin. I pay attention to sorrow. Heat flooded my cheeks. I turned away, pretending to examine the artwork on the walls. I will be down the hall, he continued. My men will be outside your door. You are safe here, Arya. I promise you this. Why? I turned back to face him. Why do you care what happens to me? He was quiet for a long moment, his expression unreadable. Then, I have not decided yet. Ask me again in a week. He left, closing the ghost door softly behind him. I stood alone in that beautiful, terrifying bedroom, listening to the city hum beyond the windows. 1 week. I could survive 1 week. But as I caught my reflection in the mirror, flushed cheeks, wild eyes, still wearing my waitress uniform, I had to wonder, would I survive Dante Salvatore, or would this week destroy me in ways I couldn't yet imagine? I woke to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows and, for one disoriented moment, forgot where I was. Then memory crashed back. The restaurant, the meeting. Dante's hand on my wrist, his voice promising protection and threat in equal measure. I was in a Mafia Boss's penthouse, wearing borrowed silk pajamas that probably cost more than my monthly rent, sleeping in a bed fit for royalty. This couldn't be my life. A soft knock at the door made me sit up. Yes? Breakfast. Signorina. A male voice called. Not Dante, one of his men. I'll be out in a minute. I found actual clothes in the closet, designer jeans that fit perfectly, a soft cashmere sweater, even underwear in my exact size. The thought of Dante assessing my body well enough to know these details made my skin tingle. I dressed quickly and ventured out into the penthouse. Morning light transformed the space. What had seemed cold and intimidating last night now looked almost beautiful. The marble floors gleamed, the artwork glowed. The city sprawled beyond the windows like a promise. Dante stood in the kitchen, a massive space of chrome and marble, pouring espresso from a machine that looked like it belonged in a cafe. He'd shed his suit jacket and rolled up his shirt sleeves, revealing forearms corded with muscle and marked with scars I hadn't noticed last night. Evidence of a violent life, written on his skin. You slept well? He asked without turning around. Somehow, he'd known I was there. Better than expected. I approached cautiously, like he was a wild animal that might startle. Thank you for all this. Sit. He gestured to the breakfast bar, where someone had laid out pastries, fruit, yogurt, and what looked like a full Italian breakfast. You are too thin. You must eat more. I'm fine. You are fragile. He set an espresso in front of me, then leaned against the counter, studying me with those penetrating gray eyes. When did you last have real meal? One that was not leftovers from restaurant? I couldn't remember. Does it matter? Yes. He said it simply, like it was obvious. You cannot be useful to me if you collapse from hunger. Right, useful. Because that's all I was, a tool he'd acquired. I ate silently, aware of his gaze tracking every movement. It should have felt invasive, but instead it felt oddly attentive, like he was cataloging information, learning me. Marco checked your apartment last night, Dante said casually, as if having someone break into my home was perfectly normal. It is. Small. It's what I can afford. You work how many hours at restaurant? 50, usually. Sometimes 60, during busy season. His jaw tightened. For how much money? I told him my hourly wage plus tips. His expression turned thunderous. That is criminal, he said flatly. You work 60 hours for barely enough to survive? This is exploitation. That's just how it is for people like me. I met his eyes. We don't all get to run criminal empires and live in penthouses. Instead of anger at my sarcasm, something like respect flickered across his face. No, most people accept their circumstances. They do not adapt. He moved closer, taking the stool beside me. But you are not most people, are you, Tesoro? Stop calling me that. I don't even know what it means. Treasure. His voice dropped. Intimate. It means treasure. My breath caught. Why would you call me that? Because that is what you are. He reached out, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. His fingers lingered against my neck. Rare. Valuable. Something to be protected. I'm not. A thing you can own. No. You are a woman who deserves better than 60-hour weeks in studio apartment in bad neighborhood. His thumb traced my jawline. You are a woman who should have art and silk sheets and food that does not come from restaurant leftovers. Are you offering to be my sugar daddy? I tried for sarcasm, but my voice came out breathless. His smile was slow, dangerous. I am offering you choice, Arya. You can return to your small life after this week. Or... He leaned closer, his breath warm against my ear. You can stay, work for me, be compensated properly for your intelligence. Doing what? What you did last night. Translate, negotiate, help me expand my business into new territories. His hand slid to the back of my neck, not quite holding me in place, but close. I need someone smart. Someone who can think fast, read people, find solutions. Someone. His lips nearly brushed my earlobe. Someone fearless. I told you, I'm not fearless. Then someone who fakes it well enough. He pulled back enough to meet my eyes. 1 week, I said. But I think we both know you are not leaving after 1 week, Tesoro. You're very confident. Yes. Because I see how you look at me. His gaze dropped to my mouth. Like you are trying to decide if I am predator or salvation. And the truth, Arya? I am both. The intercom buzzed, shattering the moment. Dante cursed in Italian and moved to answer it. He spoke rapidly, his expression shifting from frustrated to alert to something darker. He turned back to me, his face now a mask of cold control. Get dressed in something nice. We have meeting in 1 hour. What kind of meeting? The kind where you sit quietly and look beautiful. His tone had changed, became all business. The Valdez Cartel wants to verify the terms. You will be there as my... He paused. Translator. I thought you said I should stay hidden. Plans change. He was already moving toward the hallway. Wear the black dress in the closet. And Arya? He glanced back, his eyes hard as steel. Today, you speak only when I tell you to. You translate exactly what I say, nothing more. Understand? I'm not an idiot. Understand? Harder now. Commanding. Yes. Good. Some of the ice melted from his expression. I will keep you safe. I promise this. But you must trust me. Then he was gone, and I was alone with racing thoughts and a growing sense of dread. An hour later, I stood in front of the bedroom mirror, barely recognizing myself. The black dress was elegant and expensive, hugging my curves in ways my waitress uniform never had. It was professional but undeniably feminine. The heels added 3 inches to my height. Someone Marco, I assumed, had left makeup and jewelry on the vanity. I looked like I belonged in Dante's world. That scared me more than anything else. When I emerged, Dante was waiting. He'd changed into a different suit, this one charcoal gray with a black shirt underneath, no tie, the first 2 buttons undone, revealing a glimpse of tan skin and dark hair. He looked devastating. His eyes traveled over me slowly, deliberately, and I watched his pupils dilate. Perfetto, he murmured, then louder. You clean up well, Tesoro. Is that a compliment? It is observation. But his hand found the small of my back as he guided me toward the elevator, and his touch burned through the thin fabric of the dress. Remember, you speak only what I tell you. Yes? Yes, and if anything goes wrong. His fingers flexed against my spine. You stay behind me, always. The meeting was in a private room at an upscale hotel, neutral territory, Dante explained during the car ride. The Valdez Cartel didn't trust him enough to meet at his properties, and he didn't trust them enough to meet at theirs. We entered surrounded by Dante's men, 6 of them, all armed, all watching the hallways like wolves scenting prey. The Valdez delegation was already there. 4 men this time, including the leader from last night. They stood as we entered, their eyes immediately finding me. "Senor Salvatore," the cartel leader said, his smile sharp. "And the lovely translator. I was hoping we would see her again." Dante's hand tightened possessively on my waist. He spoke in Italian, a greeting, I assumed, though the words were unfamiliar. I translated into Spanish, keeping my voice neutral and professional. The negotiation began. It should have been straightforward, just confirming the terms we'd established last night. But the cartel leader kept pushing, testing boundaries, adding clauses that hadn't been discussed. "Tell him," Dante said in English, his voice low and dangerous, "that changing terms after agreement is signed shows lack of honor." I translated. The cartel leader's smile widened. "Tell Salvatore," he replied in Spanish, "that honor is expensive. If he wants my family's cooperation, he pays insurance. 5 million extra." I felt Dante stiffen beside me. When I translated, his hand found mine under the table, squeezing hard enough to hurt. "No," he said flatly in English. Then, in Italian, he said something longer, more complex. His tone was silk over steel. I didn't understand the words, but I understood the message. Threat. Promise of violence if they continued to push. I translated as best I could, softening the edges just slightly to avoid outright insult. Back and forth it went. The tension in the room ratcheted higher with each exchange. Dante's men shifted, hands drifting toward weapons. The cartel members mirrored them. This was going to explode into violence. I could feel it building like a storm. "Gentlemen," I said suddenly, in Spanish, without waiting for Dante's instruction. Both sides turned to stare at me. "Perhaps there is. Compromise?" The cartel leader's eyebrows rose. "The translator speaks for herself?" Dante's hand tightened on mine in warning, but he didn't stop me. "I speak," I said carefully, "as someone with no stake in this, except wanting everyone to leave this room alive." I looked between them. "Senor Valdez, you want insurance. Senor Salvatore, you want stable rates. What if—" I took a breath. "What if the insurance is performance-based? If the first shipment succeeds without law enforcement issues, no extra payment. But if there are problems on your end, Senor Salvatore compensates you. Risk sharing." Silence. Then the cartel leader laughed. "Risk sharing. I like this." He looked at Dante. "Your translator is more than just pretty face, Salvatore," Dante responded in Italian. When he finished, his thumb stroked the inside of my wrist. "Approval? Warning? Senor Salvatore agrees." I translated, provided the same terms apply in reverse. "If problems arise from his operations, you compensate him." More negotiation. But the temperature in the room had dropped from explosive to merely dangerous. Within 30 minutes, they'd hammered out terms that satisfied both parties. When the cartel leader finally stood to leave, he looked directly at me. "You are wasted as mere translator, chica," he said in Spanish. "If you ever tire of Salvatore, my family would welcome you." Before I could respond, Dante was on his feet, his body between me and the cartel leader. He spoke in rapid, harsh Italian. The cartel leader's smile vanished. He raised his hands in mock surrender. "My apologies. I meant no disrespect." But his eyes, when they met mine over Dante's shoulder, said otherwise. The ride back to the penthouse was silent. Dante stared out the window, his jaw tight, his hands clenched into fists. "I'm sorry," I said finally. "I shouldn't have spoken without your permission. You saved the meeting." His voice was flat, emotionless. "Your solution was elegant. Then why do you look angry?" He turned to me, and the emotion in his eyes stole my breath. Not anger, something rawer, more desperate. "Because Valdez was right," he said roughly. "You are wasted as translator. You are." He reached out, cupping my face with both hands. "You are extraordinary, Arya. And every man in that room saw it. Saw you. And now they will want you. I don't want them." "Good." He pulled me closer, his forehead nearly touching mine. "Because I have decided, Tesoro, you are mine now. Not just for 1 week. Not just as employee." His thumb traced my lower lip. "Mine. Dante, tell me no." His breath mingled with mine. "Tell me you do not feel this. Tell me I am alone in this. Madness." I should tell him no. Should push him away. should remember that he was dangerous, that this could only end badly. Instead, I whispered, "You're not alone." He closed the distance between us, his mouth capturing mine in a kiss that was equal parts possession and desperation. His hands tangled in my hair, angling my head to deepen the kiss. I gasped against his lips, and he took advantage, his tongue sliding against mine in a rhythm that made heat pool low in my belly. The SUV felt too small, the air too thick. I couldn't think, could only feel his hands on my body, his mouth claiming mine, the hard length of him pressed against my hip. When we finally broke apart, both breathing hard, his eyes had gone dark with desire. "Mio," he murmured against my throat. "Mine." And God help me, I didn't want to argue. The rest of the day passed in a haze of stolen glances and simmering tension. Dante retreated to his office, a glass-walled room at the far end of the penthouse to handle business calls. I could see him through the transparent walls, pacing like a caged predator while speaking rapid Italian into his phone. His men came and went, reporting information I couldn't hear but could guess at. Territory disputes, shipment schedules, the everyday operations of a criminal empire. I tried to read, to distract myself, but my attention kept drifting to that office, to the man inside it who'd kissed me like he was drowning and I was air. Around sunset, Marco the young, sharp-eyed, one brought me dinner on a tray. "Boss says you must eat," he said in heavily accented English. "He will join you soon." Does he always dictate when people eat? Marco's expression turned thoughtful. He dictates everything, is how he survives. Then quieter. But with you, is different. He worries. I have not seen him worry about anyone in long time. "What happened?" I asked, remembering what Dante had said about losing someone. "Who did he lose?" Marco's face shuddered. "Is not my story to tell, Signorina. But..." He hesitated at the door. "Boss is good man. Hard man, yes. Dangerous man, yes. But good heart underneath. You are safe with him." After he left, I picked at the food, some kind of pasta and cream sauce that tasted like heaven, and watched the city lights blink on below. Safe. Marco said I was safe with Dante. But what about my heart? Was that safe? "You are thinking too loud." I spun to find Dante leaning against the doorway, his jacket discarded, his shirt partially unbuttoned. He looked tired, the lines around his eyes more pronounced than they'd been this morning. "Long day?" I asked. "Every day is long in my world." He moved into the room with that predatory grace, stopping a few feet away. "But today was better, because you were in it." The admission seemed to cost him something. He wouldn't meet my eyes, his attention focused on the city beyond the windows. "Dante, I should not have kissed you." His jaw tightened. "It was inappropriate. You are under my protection. I took advantage. I kissed you back." I interrupted. His eyes snapped to mine, hot and intense. "You do not understand what you are agreeing to, Tesoro. What being mine means. Then explain it to me." He laughed, but there was no humor in it. "It means danger. It means living in a world where trust is luxury and enemies are everywhere. It means watching your back even in sleep, because moment you relax is moment they strike." He moved closer, his hands flexing like he wanted to reach for me, but was restraining himself. "It means waking up one day and finding that everyone you love has been taken from you, just to make you hurt." The raw pain in his voice shattered something inside me. "Tell me," I said softly. "Tell me what happened." For a long moment I thought he wouldn't answer. Then he sank onto the couch beside me, his elbows on his knees, his head bowed. "Her name was Isabella," he said quietly. "My younger sister. She was light. Everything good in our family. Smart, funny, kind. She wanted nothing to do with the family business. Went to university, studied art, dreamed of opening gallery." His hands clenched. I tried to protect her, kept her away from my work, gave her separate apartment, different last name. But my enemies, they are thorough. I waited, not daring to interrupt. "They took her," he continued, his voice rough with remembered agony. "Used her to force my hand in negotiation. Wanted me to give up territory, access to shipping routes. I refused. Thought I could bargain, could find her, could..." He stopped, swallowed hard. "They sent her back piece by piece." "Oh God." My hand found his without conscious thought. "Dante, I killed them all." He said it flatly, matter-of-factly. "Every man involved. Their families, their associates. I burned their territories to ground and salted the earth behind me. And when I was done, he finally looked at me, and the devastation in his eyes made my chest ache. I swore I would never care about anyone again, never give my enemies that kind of weapon. But you're human, I whispered. You can't just stop feeling. I tried, his thumb stroked across my knuckles. For 10 years, I tried. Built walls so high, so thick, became man everyone feared, no one loved. It was easier, safer, lonely, I added. Yes. He brought my hand to his lips, pressing a kiss to my palm. Very lonely, but safe. Until you. My heart hammered against my ribs. Until me? Until fearless Waitress walked into my meeting and reminded me that there are still people in world worth protecting. He shifted closer, his free hand cupping my face. You make me want to tear down walls, Tesoro. Want to feel something again. And that terrifies me more than any enemy ever could. Why? Because I could not survive losing you. He said it simply, like it was obvious. One day, and you have become essential. And I do not know what to do with that. I turned my face into his palm, pressing a kiss there. Maybe you don't have to know. Maybe you just trust it. Trust is luxury I cannot afford. Then trust me. I met his eyes. I'm not going anywhere, Dante. Whatever this is between us, I'm in it. Even though it's terrifying. Even though it's probably the stupidest decision I've ever made. His smile was slow, genuine, transforming his face from harsh to heartbreakingly beautiful. Smart woman making stupid decision. I like this very much. Then he was kissing me again, but differently than in the car. This was slower, deeper, more deliberate. His hands moved to my waist, pulling me closer until I was practically in his lap. I went willingly, my fingers tangling in his dark hair, my body molding against his. He tasted like espresso and danger and something uniquely him. His mouth moved from my lips to my jaw, to the sensitive spot just below my ear that made me gasp. Bellissima, he murmured against my throat. So beautiful, so brave, so mine. His hands roamed my back, my sides, learning the shape of me through the cashmere sweater. When his fingers found the hem and slipped underneath to touch bare skin, we both groaned. Arya, he breathed, tell me to stop. Tell me this is wrong. Instead, I pulled his face back to mine and kissed him with everything I had. All my fear and desire and desperate, reckless hope. He responded with a growl that was purely animal, his control snapping. In one smooth motion, he had me on my back on the couch, his body covering mine, his hips settling between my thighs with delicious pressure. I could feel him, hard and wanting, against my core. Could feel the tremor in his arms as he held himself back from taking what we both wanted. Not like this, he said roughly, even as his hips rocked against mine, making stars burst behind my eyelids. Not when you are here because I forced you. Not when I'm here because I want to be, I interrupted, arching against him. I'm here because you make me feel alive for the first time in years. I'm here because... The intercom buzzed. Loud. Insistent. Dante cursed viciously in Italian and pulled away from me, leaving me cold and aching. He strode to the panel, snapping out what was clearly a demand for this to be life or death important. The response made his entire body go rigid. He turned to me, and the man I'd just been kissing was gone. In his place was the cold, calculating Mafia Boss. We have problem, he said flatly. The Valdez Cartel has been attacked. Their main warehouse is on fire. They think I betrayed them. Fear spiked through me. Did you? No. His eyes never left mine. But someone wants them to think I did. Someone who wants war between our families. What do we do? We? His mouth curved without humor. There is no we, Tesoro. You stay here, where you are safe. I handle this. But no. He crossed to me, gripping my shoulders. This is not negotiation. This is not business deal where you find clever compromise. This is violence, Arya. Blood and death and things I will not let you see. You can't just leave me here. I can. I will. He kissed me hard, desperately. You are only good thing I have found in 10 years. I will not risk you in gang war. Then he was moving, calling orders in Italian. His men appeared, armed and ready. Marco was stationed at my door with explicit instructions that I could see but not hear. Dante paused at the elevator, looking back at me one last time. "If I do not, return," he said quietly. "Marco has instructions. He will take you somewhere safe. New identity, new life, money to start over. Don't talk like that. If I do not return," he continued, "know that you gave me gift, tesoro. You reminded me what it feels like to be human, to want something beyond power and revenge. Dante." The elevator doors closed, taking him away. I stood alone in that beautiful, empty penthouse, my lips still swollen from his kisses, my heart breaking with fear, because I realized, in that moment, exactly what I'd been too scared to admit. I was falling in love with Dante Salvatore, and love, in his world, was the most dangerous thing of all. The hours crawled by with agonizing slowness. I tried to sleep, failed, tried to distract myself with television, with reading, with anything that would stop my mind from conjuring horrible images of Dante bleeding in some alley. Marco stood guard outside my door, stone-faced and silent. I brought him coffee around midnight. He accepted it with a nod, but wouldn't meet my eyes. "Is there any news?" I asked. "No, signorina." "Will he be okay?" The boss always survives, but something in Marco's expression suggested even he wasn't entirely certain this time. I returned to my room and paced, wearing a path in the expensive carpet. This was insane. I barely knew Dante. One day, less than 24 hours since he'd walked into my restaurant and turned my life upside down, and yet the thought of losing him made my chest feel like it was caving in. The skyline began to lighten with the first hints of dawn when I heard at the elevator. I rushed to my door, flinging it open. Marco was already on his feet, weapon drawn. The elevator doors slid apart, and Dante emerged. He was alive. That was the first thing I registered. The relief so intense it made me dizzy. The second thing I registered was the blood. It covered his shirt, his hands, smeared across his jaw. His jacket was gone. His knuckles were split and swollen. But his eyes, God, his eyes were alive with something primal and dangerous. "Tesoro," he said roughly, spotting me in the hallway. "You should be sleeping. Are you hurt?" I closed the distance between us, my hands hovering over him, afraid to touch in case I caused pain. "Not my blood." He caught my wrists gently. "Well, mostly not my blood." "What happened?" "War." He said it simply. Then to Marco, "Status?" "All secure, boss. No attempts on the building." "Good. Keep extra men on the perimeter. Double shifts until this is resolved." Dante's attention returned to me, his expression softening slightly. "Come. I need to clean up." He kept hold of my wrist, leading me through the penthouse to what I assumed was his bedroom. I'd never been in this part of the apartment. His room was surprisingly sparse, a massive bed, floor-to-ceiling windows, minimal furniture, more functional than decorative. The bathroom, though, was pure luxury. Marble and glass, a shower big enough for 4 people, a tub that looked like a small pool. Dante started to unbutton his ruined shirt, then winced. "Let me," I said quietly. He stood still as I worked the buttons free, peeling the blood-stiffened fabric away from his skin. Beneath, his chest was a canvas of scars, some old and faded, some more recent, evidence of a violent life. But there were also new injuries, bruises blooming purple across his ribs, a shallow cut along his shoulder that had stopped bleeding but needed attention. "Dante," I breathed. "You need a doctor. I need you." He caught my face between his hands, those blood-stained, broken hands, and kissed me with desperate intensity. "I need to know you are real, that I survived tonight, that I have reason to keep fighting." I kissed him back, tasting copper and smoke, not caring about the blood or the danger or any of it. He was alive. That was all that mattered. When we broke apart, I turned on the shower, adjusting the temperature until steam filled. "The room?" "Get in," I instructed. "I'll clean those cuts. Arya, don't argue with me. You're hurt, and I'm not letting you pass out from blood loss because you're too stubborn to accept help." His smile was pure warmth. "Bossy tesoro, I like this very much." He stripped off the rest of his clothes unself-consciously, and I tried very hard not to stare at his body, all lean muscle and coiled strength, and yes, fully aroused despite the injuries. He stepped into the massive shower, and after a moment's hesitation, I followed, still in my pajamas, not caring that they'd be ruined. The water ran red at first, washing away layers of violence. I found soap and a washcloth and set to work cleaning the blood from his skin, checking each cut and bruise with gentle fingers. Tell me what happened, I said softly as I worked. Someone planted evidence at Valdez's warehouse before setting fire, he said. His eyes closed, his head tilted back under the spray, made it look like my men did it. But I found the real culprits. Who? Smaller family, ambitious. Thought they could start war between me and Valdez's cartel, then move in while we destroyed each other. His jaw tightened. They thought wrong. What did you do? What I had to. He opened his eyes, meeting mine. I am not good man, Arya. Tonight, I did things that would horrify you. I hurt people, killed people, and I did not hesitate. To protect yourself, I said. To stop a war, to protect you. He caught my wrist, bringing my palm to his chest, right over his heart. Everything I did tonight, I did knowing you were here, waiting, and that if I failed, you would be target. So yes, I was ruthless. Yes, I was brutal. Because the alternative was losing you. My throat tightened. Dante, do you understand now? His other hand cupped my face. This is who I am. This is world you would be choosing. Blood and violence and enemies everywhere. Can you accept that? Can you accept me? I should say no. Should run while I still could, before I fell any deeper. Instead, I pressed my forehead to his chest, feeling his heart pound beneath my palm. I don't know if I'm strong enough for your world, I admitted. But I know I'm not strong enough to walk away from you. His arms came around me, holding me close despite the water, despite everything. Then we will be strong together, he murmured into my hair. I will teach you my world, protect you from its worst parts. And you. His fingers tilted my chin up. You will remind me that there are things worth fighting for beyond power and revenge. He kissed me again, and this time there was no desperation, no fear, just heat and need and the promise of something more. His hands found the hem of my soaked pajama top, peeling it up and over my head. The bottoms followed, leaving me bare under the cascading water. Bellissima, he breathed, his eyes roaming over my body with unconcealed hunger. So beautiful, so perfect, so mine. Yours, I agreed, and the word felt like a vow. He backed me against the marble wall, the cool stone contrasting with his burning skin. His mouth traced down my neck, across my collarbone, finding my breast and making me gasp. His hands explored, learning every curve and hollow. When his fingers slipped between my thighs, finding me slick and ready, we both groaned. Dante, I gasped. Please, not yet. His voice was rough, strained. Not here, not like this. When I make you mine completely, Tessero, it will be in my bed, where I can take my time, where I can worship every inch of you. I don't want to wait, neither do I. He kissed me hard, his fingers working magic between my legs until I was shaking, desperate. But you deserve better than quick fuck against shower wall. You deserve. He found that perfect spot, applying pressure that made stars burst. Everything. I shattered in his arms, crying out his name as pleasure crashed through me. He held me through it, murmuring Italian endearments, his Midas's body trembling with restraint. When I could breathe again, I reached for him, but he caught my wrist. Tonight is for you, he said firmly. Tomorrow, after I have slept and healed and can give you what you deserve, then we continue this. Yes? That's not fair. Life is not fair, Tesoro. But he was smiling, actually smiling. Besides, anticipation makes everything sweeter. He finished washing us both, then wrapped me in a towel so plush it felt like being embraced by a cloud. I tended to his cuts, applying antiseptic that made him hiss, but didn't make him pull away. You are good at this, he observed as I bandaged his shoulder. I used to take care of my grandmother, I said quietly. Before she died. She had cancer. I learned how to change bandages, give medications, all of it. His expression softened. So you know how to heal broken things. I try. Then maybe you can heal me. He said it lightly, but I heard the vulnerability underneath. Maybe we can heal each other. He pulled me against his chest, holding me like I was something precious and fragile. Come, he said finally. Sleep with me, just sleep. I need to know you are close. We crawled into his enormous bed, and despite everything, the violence, the danger, the insanity of this entire situation, I felt safe. Dante's arms came around me, pulling me back against his chest. His lips pressed to my shoulder. Buonanotte, tesoro mio, he murmured. Thank you for waiting for me. Always, I whispered back. And as dawn broke over the city, I fell asleep in the arms of a killer who'd become my salvation. I woke to an empty bed and the sound of raised voices from somewhere in the penthouse. Dante was shouting in Italian, his voice tight with fury. Another man responded, his tone defensive. The argument escalated, sharp and heated. I dressed quickly in clothes from my closet, dark jeans and a soft sweater, and ventured out. The scene in Dante's office stopped me cold. He stood behind his desk, face thunderous, while Marco and two other men formed a semicircle in front of him. On the desk was a laptop, screen angled so I couldn't see it clearly. "Cannot be coincidence," Dante was saying. "Everything about her, researched and documented. Boss, I'm telling you, we found this in the usual surveillance." Dante slammed his fist on the desk. "Someone investigated her. Someone knew she would be at that restaurant that night. This was not accident, Marco. This was set up." My blood ran cold. "What are you talking about?" Every head swiveled toward me. The guilt on Marco's face told me everything I needed to know. Something was very, very wrong. "Aria." Dante's voice was carefully controlled now, all the fury locked behind walls of ice. "Go back to your room." "What's going on?" "That is not your concern. Like hell it isn't." I marched into the office, ignoring the way his men tensed. "You're talking about me. About someone investigating me. I have a right to know what." I saw the laptop screen, my entire life, laid out in neat digital files. My work schedule, my apartment address, photos of me leaving my building, walking to work, sitting in the park eating lunch, dozens of photos, taken over months. Someone had been watching me, long before that night at the restaurant. "Oh my God," I whispered. Dante moved around the desk, reaching for me. "Aria, someone was stalking me?" My voice cracked. "For how long? Why? We don't know yet, but where did you find this?" I looked at Marco, who shifted uncomfortably. "In files we recovered from the family we dealt with last night," he admitted. "The ones who tried to start the war. They had extensive surveillance on you, boss, and her." The pieces clicked together in my mind with horrifying clarity. "That night at the restaurant," I said slowly, staring at Dante. "You said your translator didn't show up, that he wasn't answering his phone." "Marco went to check on him this morning," Dante said, his expression grim. "Found him dead. Professional hit. Made to look like accident." My legs went weak. I grabbed the edge of the desk for support. "So someone killed your translator, then made sure I'd be working that night. Made sure you'd need help. Made sure," I looked up at him, feeling sick. "Made sure you'd notice me." The silence was deafening. "You were not random chance," Dante said finally, his voice rough. "You were planted. Someone wanted you in my orbit. Why?" "That," he said darkly, "is what I intend to find out." The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. Not Dante's betrayal. He'd been manipulated too. But the universe's betrayal. The cosmic joke of thinking I'd taken control of my destiny, when really I'd been a puppet dancing on someone else's strings. "So everything that happened," I said numbly, "was planned. Someone orchestrated our meeting. Orchestrated the deal. Orchestrated." My voice broke. "Us?" "No." Dante gripped my shoulders. "What is between us, that is real. That is choice. But someone put you in my path, yes. Someone wanted connection between us. Question is why?" "Maybe I'm supposed to kill you," I said, half hysterical. "Maybe I'm a sleeper agent who doesn't know it yet. Maybe—" "Stop." He pulled me against his chest, his arms locking around me. "You are not killer, Tessero. You are not spy. You are woman who was used as pawn in someone's game. But you are not responsible for their manipulation." I wanted to believe him, but doubt had planted its seeds. "How do you know?" I pulled back to meet his eyes. "How do you know I'm not exactly what they wanted me to be? Maybe I'm the threat. Then I will deal with it." His jaw was set, determined. "But I will not throw you away based on suspicion and fear. Someone wanted you close to me, yes. But maybe they wanted to give me liability. Maybe they wanted to give me weakness." His hands framed my face. "Either way, I choose to keep you. I choose to trust you. Do you understand?" "That's insane," I whispered. "Yes. But then, so is everything about us." His thumb traced my cheekbone. "Someone wanted to manipulate me by putting you in my life. Instead, they gave me gift, gave me you, and I will not let them take that away." What if I'm dangerous to you? Then I will be dangerously happy. He kissed my forehead. But we will investigate. Find out who orchestrated this, why they wanted you close to me, and when we find them. His expression turned deadly. They will regret ever touching my tesoro. A phone buzzed. Marco answered, listened, then looked at Dante with wide eyes. Boss, you need to see this. He held up his own phone, screen showing a news article. I couldn't read the Italian headline, but the photo was clear enough. Me and Dante, leaving the hotel after yesterday's meeting. The photo was grainy but identifiable. Someone leaked it to press, Marco said grimly. Every major paper has picked it up. Dante Salvatore's mysterious companion. They are speculating about who you are, what you mean to him. Dante's entire body went rigid. When? Posted 1 hour ago. Already spreading through social media. Fuck! Dante spun away, his hand raking through his hair. They wanted this. Whoever manipulated her into my life, this is their endgame. Make her public, make her target, or make me leverage. I realized ice flooding my veins. Anyone who wants to get to you now knows I have weakness. Dante finished. He looked at me, and the anguish in his eyes broke my heart. I should have kept you hidden, should have protected you better. This isn't your fault. Everything is my fault. He slammed his hand against the desk. I brought you into my world. I made you visible. He stopped, breathing hard. I have to fix this. How? By ending the threat. By finding whoever is behind this manipulation and destroying them before they can use you against me. He moved to Marco, issuing rapid orders in Italian. Double the guard on the building. Put surveillance on everyone who has been near Aria since she arrived. Check financial records, communications, everything. Boss, Marco said carefully, if we investigate that deeply, we might find complications. I don't care. Do it. As his men mobilized, Dante returned to me, but this time he didn't reach out, didn't touch me. A wall had gone up between us, built from paranoia and fear. You should pack, he said quietly. I am moving you to safe house. Off-grid location, secure. You're sending me away? I am protecting you. There is difference. Is there? I stepped closer, refusing to let him retreat. Or are you pushing me away because you're scared? Because you think caring about me makes you weak? His mask cracked, just slightly. It does make me weak, Aria. You make me weak. And in my world, weakness kills. No. I grabbed his shirt, fisting the expensive fabric. Fear kills, isolation kills. But love. The word hung between us, huge and terrifying. Love makes you fight harder, survive longer, because you have something worth living for. You think this is love? His laugh was bitter. We have known each other 3 days. I know. I pulled him closer, until our foreheads touched. It's insane. It's too fast. It's probably the stupidest thing I've ever felt. But I'm falling in love with you anyway, Dante Salvatore. And I refuse to be sent away because you're too scared to feel the same. He was silent for a long moment, his hands hovering near my waist like he wanted to touch me but didn't trust himself to. Then, so quietly I almost missed it. Ti amo, tesoro mio. What does that mean? It means, he pulled back enough to meet my eyes, and what I saw there stole my breath. Vulnerability, terror, desperate, reckless hope. It means I love you too, even though it is stupid and dangerous, and will probably destroy us both. His hands finally settled on my waist, pulling me flush against him. It means I choose you, Aria. Whatever game someone is playing, whatever threat they pose, I choose you, every time. I kissed him then, pouring everything I couldn't say into the press of my lips against his. He responded with equal intensity, one hand tangling in my hair, the other splayed possessively across my lower back. When we broke apart, both breathing hard, he rested his forehead against mine. We will survive this, he promised. Together. I will find who is behind the manipulation. I will end the threat. And then, his mouth curved slightly, then I will keep you forever, tesoro. If you will have me, I'll have you, I whispered. All of you. The danger and the darkness and everything in between. Then we fight. He kissed me once more, soft and sweet. Together. But even as I melted into his embrace, I couldn't shake the feeling that someone, somewhere, was watching us, and that the real danger had only just begun. The attack came 3 hours later, In the middle of the day, when we least expected it, I was in Dante's office, sitting across from him while he worked through financial documents. He'd refused to send me to the safe house alone, insisting I stay where he could see me. His paranoia had become my comfort. Every glance he threw my way, every protective gesture, reminded me that I wasn't alone in this. Marco burst through the door without knocking, his face pale. "Boss!" 3 vehicles just pulled up outside. 30 men, maybe more. They're armed and... The window exploded. Dante moved with inhuman speed, throwing himself across the desk and tackling me to the floor. Glass rained down around us, glittering and deadly. The sound of automatic gunfire filled the air, thunderous, terrifying. "Stay down!" Dante shouted over the noise. He was covering my body with his, using himself as a shield. "Marco, Route 3, now!" More gunfire, the sound of men shouting in Italian. "Return fire from Dante's guards. We need to move," Marco yelled. "They're coming up." Dante hauled me to my feet, his hand locked around my wrist. "With me. Do not let go. Do not stop. Understand?" I nodded, too scared to speak. We ran. The penthouse had become a war zone. Dante's men had taken defensive positions, returning fire through the shattered windows. Bodies already littered the marble floor. I tried not to look, tried not to process what I was seeing. Dante pulled me toward a section of wall that looked solid, but, at Marco's touch, swung open to reveal a hidden passage. "Emergency exit," Dante said, pushing me through. "Goes down to parking garage. My car is waiting." An explosion rocked the building. The lights flickered and died, plunging us into darkness. "Fuck." Dante's grip on my wrist tightened. "They cut the power." "Marco, do you have eyes on the garage?" "Checking." I heard Marco typing on his phone. "Boss, garage is clear but the street entrance is blocked. They've got shooters positioned. Then we go out the service entrance, through the basement." Dante was already moving again, pulling me down the narrow passage. Emergency lights flickered on, casting everything in eerie red. Behind us, the sounds of battle intensified. More explosions, screams. The building itself seemed to shake. "Dante," I gasped, struggling to keep pace. "Your men will do their jobs." His voice was hard, emotionless. "Survival mode. You are my priority, Tesoro. Everything else is secondary." We emerged into a concrete stairwell that smelled of mold and decay. Down we went, flight after flight, my legs burning, my breath coming in gasps. At the basement level, Dante paused, listening. Marco had his weapon drawn, checking around corners. "Clear," Marco whispered. We moved through the basement, a labyrinth of storage rooms and mechanical equipment. The distant sounds of gunfire were muffled but still audible. "Who is attacking?" I managed to ask. "Whoever orchestrated your surveillance," Dante said grimly. "They are making their move now, while we are vulnerable. While everyone knows you matter to me." Guilt crashed over me. "This is my fault." "No." He stopped, spinning to face me even though we didn't have time. His hands framed my face, forcing me to meet his eyes. "This is on them, not you. Never you. Understand?" But he kissed me hard, fast. "Stay alive. That is your only job right now. Stay alive for me, Tesoro. Everything else, I will handle." We kept moving. The service entrance was through a locked door that Marco picked in seconds. Beyond was an alley, narrow and dark, lined with dumpsters. Dante's car, a matte black sports car that looked like it cost more than most houses, was parked 20 feet away. "Almost there," Marco said. "Boss, you drive. I'll provide cover." He never finished the sentence. The bullet hit him in the chest, dropping him instantly. "Marco!" I screamed. More gunfire erupted from the roof of the adjacent building. Dante cursed viciously, pulling me behind a dumpster as bullets pinged off metal around us. "They knew about the exit," he snarled. "Someone on the inside. Someone told them, Dante, Marco, is dead." His voice was flat. "We cannot help him. We can only survive." He leaned out, returning fire with a handgun I hadn't even seen him draw. 3 precise shots, and the shooting from the roof stopped. "Move, now!" We ran for the car. Dante threw me into the passenger seat, then dove into the driver's side. The engine roared to life, powerful, aggressive, tires squealing. We shot out of the alley just as more gunmen rounded the corner. Bullets struck the back of the car, but the glass held. Bulletproof, like the SUVs. Dante drove like a man possessed, weaving through traffic at speeds that should have been impossible. Behind us, 2 black SUVs gave chase. "Hold on," Dante warned, then wrenched the wheel hard. We skidded into an alley barely wide enough for the car, side mirrors scraping brick. The SUVs couldn't follow too wide. We emerged onto a different street, and Dante floored it. My heart hammered so hard I thought it might burst. My hands shook. I couldn't catch my breath. "Breathe," Dante commanded, one hand leaving the wheel to grip mine. "Breathe, Arya. You are safe. I have you. Marco." "I know." His jaw was tight, his knuckles white on the steering wheel. "I know." We drove in silence for 20 minutes, taking a winding, unpredictable route. Finally, Dante pulled into an underground parking structure, descending to the lowest level. He parked, killed the engine, and just sat there, breathing hard, his hands still gripping the wheel. "Dante?" I said softly. 30 men, he said, his voice rough. "Attacked my home, my fortress. Marco is dead, God knows how many others. And I." He turned to look at me, and the anguish in his eyes was devastating. "I almost lost you. But you didn't. This time." His hand cupped my face, thumb tracing my cheekbone. "But they will try again. They will keep trying until they succeed. Because you are my weakness now, Tesoro, my fatal flaw. Then we end this," I said, surprised by the steel in my own voice. "We find whoever is behind this, and we end it. I have been trying to find them." "No." I placed my hand over his heart. "We find them together. Because I'm not some helpless damsel, Dante. I closed your $100 million deal, remember? I read people, find solutions, adapt." I met his eyes. "Use me. Let me help. Together we're stronger than you are alone." He stared at me for a long moment. Then, slowly, he smiled a real smile, full of warmth and pride. "Mio tesoro," he murmured. "My treasure. Yes, together." He leaned in, kissing me with aching tenderness. "But first, I need to make sure you are truly safe." "Where are we going?" "Somewhere no one knows about. My private sanctuary." His expression turned dark. "And then, we hunt the people who dared to threaten what is mine." As we exited the car and headed for yet another hidden elevator, I realized something crucial. I wasn't scared anymore. I was angry. Someone had tried to turn me into a weapon, had manipulated my life, killed innocent people, threatened the man I loved, and they were going to regret it. Because Dante Salvatore wasn't the only one who could be ruthless when protecting what mattered. They'd created a connection between us, thinking it would make us weak. Instead, they'd forged an alliance that would be their downfall. Dante's private sanctuary turned out to be a luxury apartment in an unremarkable building on the edge of the city. No guards, no obvious security, just an ordinary door that opened into an extraordinary space. "I bought this years ago," Dante explained as we entered. "After Isabella, somewhere that exists outside my known properties, where I could disappear if needed. No one knows about it except me. And now me," I said softly. "And now you." He moved through the space, checking rooms, ensuring we were truly alone. Satisfied, he returned to where I stood by the windows overlooking the street. The apartment was smaller than the penthouse, but no less luxurious. Hardwood floors, expensive furniture, a kitchen that looked unused. But it was the photographs on the walls that drew my attention. A young woman with Dante's gray eyes and a brilliant smile. Isabella, I realized. His sister. Frozen in time. Forever young. Forever happy. "She was beautiful," I said. "She was everything good in my family." Dante stood beside me, staring at his sister's face. Smart. Funny. Kind. She saw the best in everyone, even people who did not deserve it. His jaw tightened. "Even me. You deserved it." "Did I?" He turned to face me. "I am killer, Arya. I have done terrible things, hurt people, destroyed lives, for power, for revenge, for survival. What part of that deserves love?" "The part of you that still mourns her," I said, placing my hand over his heart. "The part that protects people like Marco, gives them purpose and loyalty. The part that makes me feel safe even when the world is burning down around us." I rose on my toes, pressing a soft kiss to his jaw. "You're not just a killer, Dante. You're a man who's survived in a brutal world by being brutal back. But survival isn't the same as being heartless." His arms came around me, pulling me close. For a moment, we just stood there, holding each other while the weight of the day settled over us. Marco was with me for 8 years, Dante said quietly, since he was 19. Stupid kid who thought working for the Mafia would be exciting. I tried to scare him away, but he was stubborn. Loyal. He would have taken bullet for me without hesitation. Instead, he took one protecting me. I whispered. No. He took one doing his duty, protecting what I value. Dante pulled back enough to meet my eyes. His death is not your fault, Tesoro. It is fault of whoever orchestrated this attack, and I promise you, they will pay for every drop of blood spilled today. The darkness in his voice should have scared me. Instead, it ignited something equally dark inside me, a thirst for vengeance I'd never felt before. How do we find them? I asked. We start with what we know. He moved to a laptop on the desk, opening it and typing rapidly. Someone has been watching you for months. Someone knew your schedule, your habits, your vulnerabilities. That level of surveillance requires resources, connections, and motivation. Motivation like what? Like wanting to hurt me through you. Or wanting to control me by controlling you. Or, he paused, his expression thoughtful. Or wanting to replace me entirely. Replace you? In my world, there are always people waiting for weakness. Waiting for opportunity to take what is mine. He pulled up files, photos, documents, surveillance footage. The family I destroyed last night, they were ambitious but small. They could not have orchestrated your surveillance alone. Someone bigger backed them. Someone with reach and patience. I leaned over his shoulder, studying the information. My eyes snagged on a name I recognized. Wait. Go back. I pointed to a document. That name. Vittorio Rossi. I've seen it before. Dante's entire body went rigid. Where? At the restaurant. He was a regular. Always came in on Thursday nights. Always sat at the same table. My mind raced, connecting dots. He was there the night of your meeting. I remember because he arrived just before you did. And Donald seemed nervous about seating him near your table. Vittorio Rossi, Dante said slowly, his voice dark with recognition. Second in command of the Rossi family. One of the 5 families that control this city. He spun to face me. Are you certain? Positive. He always tipped well and never caused trouble. So I remembered him. Dante's expression turned lethal. The Rossi family has been trying to expand into my territory for years. If Vittorio orchestrated your surveillance, put you in position to meet me, then used our connection to justify an attack. He slammed his fist on the desk. He is trying to start war. Make it look like I am vulnerable because of you. That my enemies can reach me through you. Other families will see weakness, will make moves against me, and Rossi will position himself to fill power vacuum. So what do? We prove he orchestrated this. Find evidence, present it to the Council of 5 families, and demand justice. He looked at me, his eyes hard. Or we handle it ourselves. What does handling it ourselves mean? It means I kill Vittorio Rossi and everyone who helped him. It means I make examples so brutal, so complete, that no one will dare threaten what is mine ever again. He moved closer, his hands settling on my waist. But that path leads to more violence, more death. It makes me monster, and I... His voice softened. I do not want you to see me as monster, Tesoro. I don't, I said firmly. I see you as a man protecting what he loves. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. I rose on my toes, pressing my forehead to his. Because monsters don't agonize over the choice. They don't care about the cost. But you do. You care deeply, even when it hurts. That's what makes you different. He kissed me, then slow and deep and achingly tender. His hands roamed my back, my sides, relearning the shape of me as if confirming I was real. I was alive. I was his. When we finally broke apart, both breathing hard, his eyes had darkened with need. I almost lost you today, he said roughly. When those bullets were flying, when we were running, all I could think was that I might not get to touch you again. Might not get to tell you. He paused, swallowing hard. That you have become my world, Arya. In 3 days, you have become my entire world. Dante, I want you. His hands tightened on my waist. I want you so badly I can barely breathe. But I need you to be sure. Need you to understand that if we do this, if we cross this line, there is no going back. You will be mine completely, and I will be yours. Forever. I'm sure, I whispered. I've been sure since you kissed me in the car. Maybe since you called me treasure and made me feel like I mattered for the first time in years. I'm sure, Dante. I want this. I want you. Something in him snapped. His control, so carefully maintained, shattered like glass. He lifted me in one smooth motion, my legs wrapping around his waist. His mouth claimed mine with desperate hunger as he carried me to the bedroom. The bed was massive, covered in dark silk. He laid me down gently, reverently, then stood back to look at me. Bellissima, he breathed. So beautiful, so brave, so perfectly mine. He undressed slowly, giving me time to change my mind, to run. But I didn't want to run. I wanted to watch as he revealed his body all lean muscle and dangerous grace, marked with scars that told the story of his violent life. When he was finally bare, he crawled over me, caging me beneath his body. Last chance, he murmured against my lips. Last chance to walk away, Tesoro, because after this, I will never let you go. Good, I said, pulling his mouth to mine. I don't want you to. He made love to me slowly, thoroughly, worshipping every inch of my body like I was something sacred. His hands, so capable of violence, were achingly gentle as they explored. His mouth traced fire across my skin, finding every sensitive spot, learning what made me gasp and arch and beg. When he finally joined us, sliding into me with exquisite care, we both stilled. The connection was more than physical. It was soul-deep, terrifying, perfect. Ti amo, he whispered against my temple as he began to move. I love you, Arya, my treasure, my salvation. I love you too, I gasped, lost in the sensation. In him, we moved together, building pleasure with aching slowness until neither of us could stand it anymore. When I shattered, crying out his name, he followed, burying his face in my neck and holding me like I was the only solid thing in his world. Afterward, we lay tangled together, his fingers tracing idle patterns on my bare shoulder. No regrets? He asked quietly. None. I pressed a kiss to his chest, right over his heart. You? Only that I did not find you sooner. His arms tightened around me. But now that I have you, Tesoro, I will move heaven and earth to keep you safe. Even if it means war with the Rossi family? Especially then. His voice was steel wrapped in silk. They made mistake when they threatened you. Fatal mistake. And tomorrow, we will make them understand exactly what that mistake will cost them. I should have been frightened by the promise of violence in his voice. Instead, I felt protected, cherished, loved. Tomorrow, I agreed, already drifting towards sleep in the safety of his arms. But tonight, we're just us. Just Dante and Arya. No danger, no enemies, just this. Just this, he echoed softly, pressing a kiss to my hair. For tonight, Tesoro mio, we are just us. And as I fell asleep wrapped in his embrace, I realized something profound. I'd spent my whole life feeling invisible, unimportant, alone. But Dante saw me, valued me, made me feel like I mattered, and for that, for him, I would face any danger, because love worth fighting for was also love worth dying for. I just hoped it wouldn't come to that. Morning came too soon, bringing with it the harsh reality of the world we'd built together. I woke to find Dante already dressed, standing by the window with his phone pressed to his ear. He was speaking rapid Italian, his voice cold and commanding, the dangerous Mafia boss, not the tender lover from last night. When he noticed I was awake, his expression softened. He ended the call and crossed to the bed, sitting on the edge and brushing hair from my face. Morning, Tesoro, he murmured. Sleep well? Better than I have in years. I caught his hand, pressing a kiss to his palm. What's happening? His jaw tightened. I have been making calls, gathering information. The attack yesterday killed 14 of my men, 23 injured, my penthouse is destroyed, and... He paused, his eyes going dark. Vittorio Rossi has called emergency meeting of the 5 Families Council. He is claiming I provoked attack by bringing civilian into our world. Says I have become liability, that my judgment is compromised. Ice flooded my veins. He's using me against you. Exactly as he planned from the beginning. Dante's thumb traced my cheekbone. He wanted me to care about you, to become attached, so he could point to that attachment as weakness. Now he will argue to the council that I should be removed from leadership, that my territory should be redistributed. What happens if the council agrees? then I lose everything. My businesses, my properties, my power. Worst case, they demand my death to restore order. He said it matter-of-factly, like discussing the weather. Best case, they strip me of authority and exile me from the city. That's not acceptable. I sat up, clutching the sheet to my chest. We can't let him win. We might not have choice, Tesoro. The council meeting is this afternoon. I must attend, must defend myself. And Vittorio will have spent weeks building his case, gathering allies, convincing other families that I am weak. His hand cupped my face. I will fight, but the odds are not good. Then we change the odds. An idea was forming, reckless and dangerous. What if I went with you? Absolutely not. Hear me out. I grabbed his wrist, holding him in place when he tried to pull away. Vittorio's whole argument is that I make you weak, that your attachment to me clouds your judgment. But what if we prove the opposite? What if I help you demonstrate strength, unity, strategy? The council does not allow civilians. I'm not just a civilian anymore. I met his eyes, letting him see my determination. I'm the woman who closed your $100 million deal, who negotiated with the Valdez cartel, who survived an assassination attempt and came out stronger. I'm your partner, Dante. Your equal. Let me prove it. He stared at me for a long moment, conflict warring in his expression. Then, slowly, he smiled. Dio, you are magnificent when you are fierce, he murmured. But Tesoro, the council meeting. It is dangerous. These are men who have killed for less than perceived disrespect. If you misstep, then you'll protect me, like you always do. I leaned in, pressing my forehead to his. Trust me, Dante. Trust us. We're stronger together, remember? Yes, he said softly. We are. He kissed me, slow and sweet. Very well. You will come with me. But you follow my lead. You speak only when addressed directly. And if I tell you to leave, you leave. No argument. Agreed? Agreed. 4 hours later, I stood in front of the mirror, barely recognizing myself. Dante had called in professionals, hair, makeup, wardrobe. They'd transformed me from waitress to something else. Someone powerful and polished. The dress was elegant black, designer, conservative enough to show respect but fitted enough to command attention. My hair was swept up in an intricate style. The makeup was subtle but flawless. I looked like I belonged at Dante's side. Perfetto, he said from the doorway. He'd changed into a black suit that looked like it cost more than a car. His hair perfectly styled, his presence commanding. You look like Queen, Tesoro. Will that help or hurt with the council? Depends on whether they see you as my strength or my weakness. He crossed to me, fastening a necklace around my throat. Diamonds and sapphires, glittering and cold. This was my mother's. She wore it to every council meeting, and no one ever dared disrespect her. I'll make you proud. I promised. You already have. He turned me to face him, his expression fierce. Whatever happens today, Arya, know this. You have given me something I thought I lost forever. Hope. And for that gift, I will burn the world down if necessary. The council meeting was held in a massive estate on the outskirts of the city-neutral territory owned by no single family. Armed guards lined the driveway. Security checkpoints required us to surrender weapons and submit to searches. Dante was tense but composed as we entered the main hall. The space was intimidating, all dark wood and vaulted ceilings, with a massive table dominating the center. 4 men sat around it, representing the other 4 families. Dante's chair sat empty, waiting. Vittorio Rossi stood near the head of the table, his expression smug when he saw us enter. Salvatore, he said smoothly in Italian. I see you brought the cause of your troubles. Dante responded in Italian, his tone sharp. I didn't understand the words but felt the tension ratchet higher. Please, one of the older men said in English, gesturing to the empty chairs. Sit. We have much to discuss. Dante guided me to the chair beside his, one hand on my lower back, possessive, protective. The meeting began. It became clear quickly that Vittorio had indeed built his case. He presented evidence of the attack on Dante's penthouse, highlighted the deaths, emphasized the disruption to business operations. He pointed to me as the catalyst, the weakness that enemies had exploited. Salvatore allowed personal feelings to compromise his judgment. Vittorio argued, his English accented but clear. He brought civilian outsider into our world, made her visible, made her target. This is not behavior of strong leader. This is behavior of man who has lost his way. I have lost nothing, Dante said coldly. I gained asset. Arya closed deal with Valdez Cartel worth $100 million. She did this using intelligence and courage. She is valuable. She is liability, Vittorio countered. Her presence causes war, costs, lives. The question is not whether she is intelligent. The question is whether you can remain effective leader when your heart is compromised. The other council members murmured agreement. I felt Dante's hand find mine under the table, squeezing gently. Gentlemen, I said quietly. Every head turned toward me. May I speak? Silence. Then the oldest council member nodded. You have floor, miss? Chen. Arya Chen. I stood, surprising even Dante. Signor Rossi argues that I am liability, that my presence makes Dante weak. But I ask you, who orchestrated the surveillance on me? Who killed Dante's translator to force our meeting? Who planted evidence to start war between Dante and the Valdez Cartel? Vittorio's expression flickered just for a second, but I caught it. These are baseless accusations, he started. Are they? I looked directly at him. Because I find it very convenient that you were at my restaurant the night Dante and the cartel had their meeting. That you knew exactly where I worked, exactly when I worked. That you were perfectly positioned to observe when your plan succeeded. You have no proof. I have surveillance footage from the restaurant. I lied smoothly, channeling every negotiation skill I'd developed. Time-stamped, showing you arriving minutes before Dante, positioning yourself to watch. I have testimony from my former manager about men asking questions about my schedule weeks before the meeting, and I have financial records showing payments from a Rossi shell company to the family that attacked Dante's penthouse. I had none of these things, but the way Vittorio's face went white told me my educated guesses had hit close to the truth. This is outrageous. Vittorio sputtered. I will not be accused by civilian. Then prove her wrong, Dante said, his voice deadly soft. He stood beside me, a united front. Show us evidence that you were not involved. Open your financial records to council review. Allow investigation into your activities over the past months. His smile was knife-sharp. If you are innocent, you have nothing to hide. The other council members were watching Vittorio now with new suspicion. One of them, a silver-haired man with hard eyes, leaned forward. This is serious accusation, Rossi. If true, you attempted to manipulate council, start war between families, all to advance your position. This cannot stand. I did nothing wrong. Vittorio's composure was cracking. She is lying to protect him. No, the silver-haired man interrupted. She is presenting logical case, one that demands investigation. He looked at Dante. Salvatore, you claim Miss Chen is asset. Prove it. Show us evidence she can be trusted, that her presence strengthens rather than weakens you. Dante's hand found mine, lifting it to his lips in a gesture that was both tender and deliberately public. Evidence? He said. Arya closed deal worth $100 million with Valdez Cartel using only intelligence and improvisation. She survived assassination attempt without panic. She stands before you now, knowing any of you could order her death, and she does not flinch. This is not weakness. This is strength. He pulled me closer, his arm around my waist. And she makes me stronger, not weaker. Because she reminds me there are things worth protecting beyond power and territory. Things worth fighting for. The room was silent. Then, surprisingly, the silver-haired man smiled. You love her, he observed. Yes. Dante said it without hesitation. I love her. And this love makes you vulnerable. Love always makes us vulnerable, Dante replied. But it also makes us brave. Makes us fight harder, think clearer, survive longer. My father taught me that power comes from fear, but my mother taught me that true strength comes from having something worth living for. He looked down at me, his expression soft. Arya is what I am living for, and I will destroy anyone who threatens her, including you, Vittorio. The threat hung in the air, naked and dangerous. The council deliberated for hours. Dante and I waited in an antechamber, his arms around me, neither of us speaking. Finally, we were called back. The council has decided, the silver-haired man announced. Vittorio Rossi, you will submit to full financial audit. If evidence supports the accusations made today, you will be removed from your family's leadership and dealt with appropriately. Vittorio's face was ashen, but he nodded stiffly. As for you, Salvatore, the man continued, the council recognizes that Miss Chen is indeed asset rather than liability. However, We require assurance that your judgment remains sound. You will marry her." The words hit like a thunderbolt. "What?" I breathed. "Marriage provides legal protection, legitimizes her position within our world," the silver-haired man explained. "It shows commitment, stability. It transforms her from weakness into strength. You have 1 month to arrange ceremony and present her as your wife. Otherwise, the council will reconsider today's decision." Dante's hand tightened on mine. "Understood." The meeting adjourned. As we walked to the car, my mind spun. "Did they just order you to marry me?" I asked. "Yes." Dante opened the passenger door for me, his expression unreadable. "And you agreed?" "Yes, Dante." He cupped my face, his eyes blazing with intensity. "Arya, I would have married you anyway. I would have given you my name, my protection, my everything. The council simply demanded what I already wanted. But we've known each other less than a week." "I have known you forever, Tesoro," he interrupted. "I have been searching for you my entire life without knowing it. And now that I have found you, I will never let you go." He kissed me, deep and possessive. "So yes, I will marry you, not because the council demands it, but because I love you, because you are mine, and I want the world to know it." My heart hammered against my ribs. This was insane, reckless, completely mad. "Okay," I whispered. "Let's do it." His smile was pure joy. "Okay? Okay." I pulled him down for another kiss. "I'll marry you, Dante Salvatore. I'll be your wife, your partner, your equal, and together, we'll prove that love isn't weakness. It's the strongest weapon of all." As we drove away from the council meeting, Dante's hand never left mine. 1 week ago, I'd been a waitress counting down the minutes until my shift ended. Now I was engaged to a mafia boss, having survived assassination attempts, closed $100 million deals, and changed the balance of power in the criminal underworld. It should have terrified me. Instead, I felt free. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't just surviving, I was living, and I was loved. The wedding was small by mafia standards, only 200 guests, but spectacular. Dante had insisted on the cathedral, on flowers that cost more than most people's mortgages, on a dress that made me feel like a princess, from a fairy tale. As I walked down the aisle, his eyes never left mine. When we reached each other, his hand trembled slightly as he took mine. "Tesoro mio," he whispered. "My treasure, my love, my life." The ceremony was in Italian, but I'd learned enough to understand the important parts, the promises, the vows, the commitment. When the priest pronounced us married, Dante kissed me like we were the only 2 people in the world. The reception was held at his newly rebuilt penthouse, even more spectacular than before. As we danced, his arms around me, I couldn't help but marvel at how my life had changed. "Regrets?" he asked softly. "About you?" "Never." I pressed my forehead to his. "About everything else?" "Sometimes, but then I remember this is what living feels like. Real, messy, dangerous, beautiful living. I love you, Arya Salvatore," he murmured. "More than power, more than revenge, more than life itself. I love you too," I whispered back. "My dangerous, beautiful, impossible man." Later, after the guests had left and we were alone in our bedroom, he made love to me with achingly tender intensity. "Thank you," he breathed against my temple afterward, holding me close. "For what?" "For being fearless that night at the restaurant, for choosing me, for reminding me that there are still good things worth fighting for in this world." His hand traced patterns on my bare shoulder. "You saved me, Tesoro. In every way a person can be saved." "We saved each other," I corrected. "You gave me purpose, value, love, things I'd been searching for my entire life." "Then we are even." "No." I turned in his arms to face him. "We're better than even. We're perfect." His smile was soft, genuine, full of love. "Perfetto. Yes, we are." As I drifted toward sleep in his arms, I thought about the path that had brought us here, the manipulation, the danger, the violence. Someone had tried to use me as a weapon against him. Instead, they'd given us each other, and in doing so, they'd created something neither of us had expected. A love, strong enough to change the world. Or at least, strong enough to change ours. And really, wasn't that all that mattered?